The Watford Fan Show, the latest on the Golden Boys. And all the gossip from Vicarage Road. Plus, you Hornets getting vocal on the socials. The Watford Fan Show with 7otb.com. Predict 7 results. Win 7 figures. Love Sport London. A great station for a great city.
Evening, it's Love Sport Radio, 5 at AM. Time to talk all things Watford with the chaps from the Hornets Nest podcast. In the seat to my right is Andy.
Good evening.
And the man who's left his homework one more day late because he realises he hasn't got to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's dancing around in the studio.
I've got exams in a month as well, so it's all getting busy.
Nervous?
No, it's all good.
Sure?
Yeah.
Have you got your
now we're
revision
safe
technique?
now. I can't really.
Your revision technique?
Wing it.
What's your first? What's your first exam? What subject?
Hasn't been released yet, but
Hasn't been released yet?
The anticipation is building when we get that email from head of year. You're going to have no free periods on a Monday and no exams on a Friday. So you get a day off, 3-day weekend.
There's always one person who says that they can get you a copy of the paper or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like,
They mug you off.
They leaked you one online or something like that. You know, it always happens. It always happens. It's time to talk about Watford. You can have your say this evening. 0208 70 20 558. We're at Love Sport Radio on Twitter. Did anyone go Wembley?
Yep.
I had to say I was absolutely disgusted by the ticket prices from Spurs. They ranged from £40 to £140.
Pricing fans out the game.
£40
For the Watford game?
Yes.
In the home end, I think.
In the home end.
Yeah,
Well, I just thought to myself, it'd be nice to go and watch 2 London clubs.
Yeah.
You know, go and watch a bit of football, take the old man, you know, a little day out, you know. And I popped online. £40 right up in the gods. He had no chance of getting up there. By the time he got up to the top, it would have been half time. So I thought, forget it. I looked at the next band. I think there was £60, then £80, then £140.
Blimey.
How much do you guys pay?
Ridiculous. For my season ticket, I think it's only 150. But then when I get to an adult,
No, for the ticket for the.
Oh, it was about.
It's capped at £30 for
There you go.
away game.
Happy days.
Yeah, I know. Good. It's really good.
Happy days. Did you both go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bit of a late one for you.
Yeah, on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had school in the morning.
Straight to bed when you get
I
back.
had PE first thing. We were doing a spinning session, so it was really took it out of me.
Session in
Yeah,
PE?
yeah. No. I was burning. I had a dodgy burger outside the ground, and then when I got to school the next day, I could really feel it.
So you don't want to sit on that bike seat after you've had a dodgy burger
God, it was
straight
horrible.
after Jacob.
Chafing.
And then your PE teacher's like dancing in front of you to the rhythm of the spinning session.
What
It was just
PE
horrible.
rhythm of the
teacher
night.
do you have?
No comment.
Do you know what? We need to talk in the break. 7:05. Let's go to the lines because we've got Danny in from Northampton.
Hello, lads. Hello.
Hi, Danny. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Just want to talk about yesterday, really, and the season as a whole, really.
Go.
Just relieved now that we can go into the last game with nothing. We're just playing with a bit of freedom next week, thank God.
Do you think? Do you think that'll happen, or do you think the Watford players will have packed their bags? Are you expecting some sort of performance, or?
In all fairness, with their bags have been packed since like January. In all fairness, so I mean, this is Watford. Like we could quite easily turn up, beat them, but then again, we could turn up and think, oh, it's the last game. What do we bother? But to be honest, I think they're going to put in a 4%. You know, Man United, they've got the cup final in a couple of weeks, aren't they? So they're going to be resting. They're going to be resting a few players. So hopefully we can. You're probably not going to get a better chance beating Man United at Old Trafford. You know, being the last game and them having the cup finals. But looking forward to it. Again, it'll be the third season in a row for me every away game attended. So that's a quite proud record. And also, I've worked out the Man United game will be my 500th Watford game in all my life. So that's quite a good record.
Well, Danny, I know a lot of the players will be playing for their futures. I know you said they've been on holiday, but if you look at that starting 11, there's a few players where, that, especially in the fullback area, where you're thinking, are they going to have a future at Watford?
I mean, I spoke to you yesterday, and I said to the players that I don't think will be. I mean, Prado obviously he probably won't play anyway. So players like, Decore, he's going to be one which may go in the summer. Andre Gray's going to be an interesting one. What's going to happen? You know, Cardiff get promoted today. That's going to be an interesting one. Like Troy Deeney, will he be here next season? It's all like you said. All players are sort of playing for their future. You know, and again, it depends on the manager. Like if the manager's going to stay the same in the summer, what players is he going to want to keep and what players is he going to want to sell? You just don't know. So like you said, they're playing for their sort of future at Watford, really. But there are the obvious players, like players I think Britta, Cammy just won't be here next season. So they're players you can think, right, we can replace them. So.
Hi, Danny. Just going back to the victory yesterday. What did you make of the substitutions that Gracia made in the second half? Because it looked like we sort of lost formation at one stage.
The first one when I think the first one was the Deeney sub with Mariappa. I was absolutely baffled.
The first one was Pereira, Delafeu on for Pereira, then it was Maps on for Deeney, and then it was Richarlison on for Gray. Right.
Yeah, I mean the Pereira one, I was quite surprised. Pereira was absolutely running the show for me. He was running the show. But the one I was most shocked about was the Deeney Mariappa one. That was, I mean, that the whole ground basically told Garcia what he thought. What we all thought of that substitution, and that just basically said, right, we're just happy now, 2-0, 2-1, which does kind of warm me up a little bit, because as Watford fans, we just want, we're not the kind of team to kill teams off. We're just quite happy to keep it tight at 2-0, 2-1, which is understandable, and it did work in the end yesterday. But if Newcastle were a better team, they could have easily won that game, and then it could have been our poor subs again. But luckily, it didn't matter too much in the end. But
Danny, just before you go, do you think we were a little bit lucky yesterday? We saw it against Bournemouth and Burnley, where we capitulated when Gracia went a little bit defensive. He did it again yesterday, which was a bold move. I mean, if we had lost that game from that position, then a few questions would have been asked of the manager. I know we've said it every week, but is he the man to take us forward, Danny? Because each week a lot of fans are kind of flip-flopping. Yeah, maybe. Actually, I'm not so sure. I don't really know. What's your take on it?
I mean, if you're judging him on his tactical decisions, some of them are a bit like, hang on a minute, what is he doing? Like the subs yesterday, but his home record's been decent for Watford. I think only the one loss. So that's decent, but again, different manager, but it's the same old stuff. Like we saw it under Mazzari, we saw it under Flores, we saw it under previous managers, that we don't tend to see games out, and we always, the last 10 minutes, switch off, which is key. So I'm probably not Gracia's biggest fan, but I would like to see him here next season, because I'm about to get to the point where I'm sick and tired of training managers now. I get why they do it, but it's get to just have a bit of stability now. So I would like to see him be next season, and give him till maybe October, November. If things are sort of getting a bit pear-shaped, and then moving on and see where we go from there. But yeah.
Fair point, Danny. Thank you very much for making it this evening on Love Sport Radio. 7:10, you can have your say. Be like Danny. You can tweet us at Love Sport Radio. You can call us 0208 7020 558.
I hear Jamie Oliver is still being chased by people who hate the sugar tax. Love Sport.
I work for a spokesmansaid.com. We can help you save money on your home insurance. All you need to do is visit a spokesmansaid.com and find out if we can find you a better deal.
The Kelvin Mackenzie Hour on Love Sport.
In my life, there's a lady who has just thrown out all my short sleeve shirts because she thinks that I don't look too good in them. Honestly, I don't look too good generally. I don't know about, and I can hardly start turning up to work with no clothes on.
Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m.
I got my hockey mask and my machete ready for Friday the 13th.
Love Sport, 558 a.m.
The funny thing is that I've just realised I've got the same. Well, me and Jacob, we had the same English teacher.
Happy times.
Yeah,
he's a very good teacher.
He didn't really like me that much.
No, he loves me. He absolutely loves me.
Why is that?
Because I'm an incredible student.
What, you say that with a...
No, to be fair, there's only 4 people in my class, so there's not a lot of competition.
4?
Yeah, no one does English literature and language, so yeah, not exactly
at
sport
grammar
for choice.
School?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, anyway, same English teacher. I'm trying to think of some capers we got.
Small world.
Yeah.
Small class.
Cool. Nice one.
Happy days.
Yeah, what do you think of the points raised by the last call?
Yeah, I think with Gracia, it's touch and go whether he's going to be here next season. I think he should be given a summer to kind of stabilise the squad. I mean, he came in at a difficult period. Is he the right man to take us forward? We'll have to wait and see, but me and Andy have said it for a while. It wouldn't surprise us if he did go due to the Pozzo's nature. But no, overall, I think whether the players will be on holiday at United next week, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. I think we can maybe get a result. I know you're a United fan, Aaron. You haven't been playing too well recently. We
haven't been playing too well for a long time.
And Delafeu's back. Pereira's hitting form.
Bobby Pereira.
Yeah, he is a magician. He's really come to life this season. He makes his Watford side tick. Everything comes through him, and we're really starting to see the qualities of the Argentinian.
Okay, I subscribe to a few Watford groups on social media, and I like reading the comments especially. Now, after Monday at Spurs, it was split 50-50. Some people saying, yeah, we gave it a really good go and it was Carnezis' fault, and we should have really got something out of that game. And some people are saying, yeah, Javi's rubbish, bin him now.
There's always a nice a plethora of opinions on some of the social media sites, when you say, Jacob. It does make for some interesting reading. You do have to practice your spelling sometimes as well when you're reading them. But yeah, it's kind of like a little split almost down the middle. Some people are saying, yeah, I want him to stay. Some people are saying, yeah, I think we should change. He was brought in to do a job. My opinion, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes. It's almost would have that sort of Sanino feel, sort of coming in after Zola left and seeing it out through...
without the baldness.
Just without the baldness.
I told you he looks like my dad.
Beppe Sanino?
Yeah, shout out to my dad.
Anyway.
He's showing up his head as well.
Yeah, he puts baldy polish on.
Baldy polish.
Yeah, so it's in the sunlight, it just glistens. But anyway, what were you saying?
Glistens. Good word. You learned that in your class of
English
4.
Lang.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes. But I would like to see him stay on, because like you said, he came in at quite a difficult point, not just in January, but sort of the back end of January as well, just after about less than 24 hours after Silva got sacked after the Leicester game. So it was he only had really 3 signings in January. 2 of them have played, and Lucky Bacchio's only played about 20 minutes.
And he doesn't really make the signings, does he?
No, and Deulofeu has been the only one to sort of make any impact on the Watford squad in January. So he's had injuries to contend with. He's had a lack of confidence, and I'd like to see him given a full pre-season, a full transfer window as well, to get the squad that the Pozzos want, and hopefully give next season a really good go. But I feel as though today we've maybe started off possibly a little bit too negative. Can we just say we won? Hooray!
Yay.
This is the first time since starting this radio show on, I think, March the 11th at the Arsenal game, that we've been able to talk about a win, a Watford win. So let's get some happy callers on, celebrate another season in the Premier League. I was watching the Fulham. Well, I was watching the Cardiff game and the Fulham Cardiff promotion race. Would you want? Obviously, we're now in the Premier League again. Fantastic, best league in the world. But do you want the excitement maybe of another Championship promotion race compared to the Premier League? That's been a question on a lot of Watford fans' minds.
Not for me. Not at all.
I don't think look at what Stoke suffered yesterday.
To be fair, Aaron, there are a lot of fans who prefer it, not pre-Pozzo, but when they came in, where we were playing that expansive football under Zola, then under Jukanovic when we got promoted. But I just find it strange that you want us to get relegated to then get back into the position we already are in. So you're not really achieving anything apart from having a good time. Realistically, you might go out for a few beers, but honestly, what's actually going to happen? Like, you might get promoted, have go to Prism in the town centre, but really swim in the pond. But overall, what are you actually getting out of it? In the same position that we are. I think
as football fans, we kind of look for a bit of excitement as well. So that first season under Zola, we were playing some really sexy football, and it was great. Like, it was awesome, and obviously the season we went up, fantastic as well. But like you said, it's kind of the road to getting to where we want to be is great fun, and now where we want to be was sort of, I think, because we've had 3 seasons of just sort of staying put and starting well and faltering towards the end. It's losing its novelty almost. So we kind of need, even if next season we sort of finish like 1 or 2 places above where we are, but we have like that consistency and not sort of starting up, like Usain Bolt, starting on fire and then just faltering away towards the end. If we have just like a consistent string of results that see us ticking over, I think fans would be more happy and obviously not want us to go down, but it's that sort of excitement factor that I think people...
But don't you want to be playing Europa League football? Do you want to be playing European football? Do you want to be going far in cup competitions? Do you want to be challenging for cups? I don't get it.
I think the only way that can be achieved is through recruitment and it improving massively. We have picked up a few gems in recent years, but defensively, again, I've said it every week, we really do need to improve. But no, overall, I think it's a tough one where the club's going. I think on the one hand, like Andy said, we just want to see consistency. We don't want to get relegated, although I know some fans are a little bit weird that they kind of want the Championship days back. But no, overall, if we have that consistency, then we will see the rewards. And if we get in the likes of Deulofeu, that will attract bigger names in. If you see Gerard Deulofeu coming to Watford, you're thinking, well, what are they doing? What's the project at Watford? What do they want to be involved in? And then you get...
Is he that big a name?
I think he is a big name. From Barcelona, 25 million rumoured. That is huge for Watford.
For Watford, that's massive.
That is... but that's like... unbelievable.
He didn't turn it on at Everton. He was brought in by Roberto Martinez on a free from Barcelona with a view to them purchasing him back for 10 million euros or pounds, whatever it was. He didn't turn it on for 2 or 3 seasons. He was shipped out by Ronald Koeman, went back to Barcelona. Not sure how much football he actually played at Barcelona. Does it not just smell of they're trying to make a quick buck on him?
But AC Milan as well, we had a little spell where he was quite good. I don't know, I think 25 million maybe from the outside is a little bit pricey, but in today's current market and what it do to the Watford team, it's worth the price in my opinion. Once you get a calibre and an ability of Gerard Deulofeu, you can, like I said, attract players who you wouldn't normally get. Once you've got that one big signing, you can bring in players that are probably better than Watford, and Deulofeu is one of them.
Yeah, we sort of anticipating that from Pereira's arrival last season. When we signed Pereira from Juventus, that was the biggest name that we'd ever signed. Little old Watford signing a player from Juventus shouldn't really be happening, but now it's happening. Now we're looking at Deulofeu from Barcelona. The Pozzo scouting model is legendary, and we saw when he came in instantly he was that catalyst almost for Watford's staying in the Premier League. His first game was Stoke away on a cold Wednesday night, which was horrible. But managed to
I hate that.
Get our only away point in 2018 up at Stoke. Oh, that was a tricky night. But yeah, we saw as soon as he came in, he provided that impact that we needed. I mean, we'll discuss him in a bit more detail in a later section of the show. But to sign Deulofeu, I think is our number one. Well, probably our number one priority to just sort of nail that down in the transfer window, and then obviously we're looking at actually quite a shift in a lot of players. There's going to be a lot of people leaving, and I think we need top priorities positionally are centre backs and strikers. We've discussed obviously left backs and whatnot, but centre backs and strikers for me are where we need to improve for
I think
season.
We'll be pushing on with transfer chat later on in the show as well. There's plenty to talk about here. 0208 70 20 558. More importantly, we want to hear from you this evening at Love Sport Radio on Twitter.
I just need to tell you that this station is exempt from any aluminum and steel taxes.
558 AM. Love Sport. Love Sport with 7otb.com. Predict 7 results. Win 7 figures.
This is Lionel, another very happy person who saved themselves money at spokesmansaid.com.
I'm Lionel from Peacehaven. I took note of what the spokesman said and I saved £484 per year on my energy. I found a spokesman said was so easy to follow and it saved me £484 on my energy, and I would recommend everybody does the same.
spokesmansaid.com. Getting real people, real savings. Compare home energy quotes from the UK's biggest suppliers to find out if you can save money. Compare, switch and save with spokesmansaid.com. Fighting for you, saving you money.
You could visit 10, 20, 100 dealers and still not see as many cars as you would in just one visit to Car Giant. Because at Car Giant we've up to 8,000 quality used cars in stock, all at unbelievably low prices. So don't go round the houses for your next car. Go to Car Giant, the only place for giant choice and giant savings.
It's how London buys its cars. Car Giant.
Look, 50% off bed sheets. And these towels.
Why is everything floral?
Because she likes flowers.
Who?
Mum. She's staying with us until her extension's built.
Are you joking?
I told you last week.
You didn't.
With up to 70% off big brands, 20 restaurants and a 9-screen cinema, you're guaranteed to get more than you bargained for at London Designer Outlet. Savings for all the family? Hello LDO. Find us in Wembley Park. See website for details. Savings on RRP. It's only for 3 months.
Love Sport Breakfast with Ian Stone. The perfect comedy breakfast sandwich. Bringing home the bacon with all the sports, the biggest news and a fair amount of egg on faces. You like it saucy? There'll be something for you. Love Sport Breakfast with Ian Stone. Weekdays from 6 a.m. on Love Sport.
The Queen's Park Rangers are great. Really friendly. Seriously. They're some great people.
558 a.m. Love Sport. Love Sport. OTB.com. Predict 7 to net $1 million.
Yeah, evening. It's Love Sport Radio this Sunday night. We're talking all things Watford with the chaps from the Hornets' Nest. And what's your ting called?
W18, the Watford fan channel. That's why Andy was pointing out about the fan views, because we interview fans after games, so that we do get a splitted opinion, let's put it that way.
How did you start doing that?
We started it back, well, it was the first game of the season, which was Liverpool, and I wanted to get into that kind of... I know Watford hadn't really had... There's no one representing them on YouTube, and that's obviously the biggest platform at the minute. And obviously the successes of Arsenal Fan TV and the fan channels. I wanted to get Watford fans' voices out there because it hasn't really been talked about. All the pundits on 606, TalkSport, slagging off Watford really, and then not getting a reply. And I wanted Watford fans to really project their opinions, project their voices about the club and the games, and it's turned out all right. Not too bad. You
wanted to talk about the Newcastle game, first Watford win since March. Talk about the Deeney and Gray partnership as well.
Yeah, so it was kind of... We've seen Gracia play 2 up front on a number of occasions, Everton being the notable one with Akaka and Deeney. But I think it's the first time we've actually seen Deeney and Gray start a game together. What did you make of that partnership from the off?
I have to say, I thought it was Andre Gray's best game in a Watford shirt. I really do think it. I do think it was. He obviously won the penalty. He scored a goal. Linked up well with Deeney and the midfielders, Will Hughes in particular. I just think with Andre, he just doesn't time his runs perfectly, and if he does, he'd have so many one-on-ones because his pace is electric. It really is electric, and obviously, unfortunate for Deeney to miss the penalty, but him winning it was actually quite a heavy touch from Andre. And then he won the penalty, and I think it was Dummett who slid in. But no, I think just overall, Gray, he missed a chance as well, which has smashed at Dubravka, but it was one of the better games because he was actually running in behind, but I think it's his timing of his actual runs that lets him down at times.
But was it a penalty? Because I actually haven't been able to watch matches.
No, neither. So, initially, I thought it. I was surprised because I looked over and
I thought it was a corner.
Yeah, and the liner was waving his flag. I was like, "Are you putting it back?"
He's waving it for quite a long time here. Yeah.
It's like, do you want to do anything about it? And then, he gave the penalty. It was a heavy touch from Andre, it really was. But, I mean, you're going to take it. It's a shame Troy didn't put it away. Well, before there was an interesting point. Does Andre Gray take the penalty after Deeney missing the last one?
How do you mean? As in, if we had got another one in the Newcastle game, should Andre have taken it, or the next penalty we get?
That one.
Oh, that one that we won yesterday.
Because I have to say, there were a few fans, and me in particular, I was thinking, Deeney missed his last one.
Oh, after Deeney missed no, Deeney still takes the penalty. At every club, you've got your penalty taker, and Deeney's captain as well. I don't think Troy's the kind of guy to say, "Oh, I missed my last one. Here you go, Andre. Make up for my mistake." But to be honest, I was really surprised that Troy didn't just smash it down the middle. Because he didn't. He does that all the time. He did that against United, did it against Palace last season, and against Arsenal, he didn't smash it down the middle. He got saved. So I was wondering why he didn't do it again. I don't really know what goes through a striker's mind when they step up. They should always have a favoured place to go, and we've always seen Troy just nail it down the centre of the goal, and 80% of the time it goes in. It was a fantastic save on the rebound.
The Bravko.
Troy, I'm not sure how he didn't score it. It was kind of a knockout moment almost, in that it was a rubbish penalty to start with, and the keeper saved it, and then should really bury the rebound. But I mean, that Almunia save almost happened in slow motion. Sort of he didn't really do anything with his body; he just sort of leant to one side.
It was one of the worst passages of that penalty was horrendous,
but a great moment for us, nevertheless. But yeah, the Deeney Gray partnership, I thought it worked. Certainly we've sort of seen when we have two, even under Silva, towards the end of his tenure, he went two up front for the final sort of few minutes of games, and the team and the fans just sort of get that little lift, because start of the season playing one up front, we certainly started all right, but then it almost when games where it was crying out for two up front, Silva didn't do that, and Gracia is obviously more inclined to do it. But then starting with two up front, I think certainly there's just a mindset that the fans and players are just thinking, right, here we go, we're going to score some goals today. I think I worked out yesterday that it was the first time that Watford had scored 2 goals at home before half-time since Liverpool on the first day of the season. That's quite a long time for a team at home to not score 2 goals in the first half. Should have obviously been 3, which then I'd actually written the tweet out saying that, and then we won the penalties. I was like, right, hold back on that. And then we missed. I was like, right, I can tweet that now. So, but no, which is a scarily long time, and it's been frustrating to watch at times for us not to stay with 2 up front, which is why. Was Deeney injured for the substitution, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I thought it was just an odd move from Gracia. But going back to the partnership, I think what I found with this Watford side is Deeney and Gray play better in a partnership. We all know that. Gray looks a different player actually with a person alongside him. But with this Watford team, I think we're actually a 4-2-3-1 side. I think that's our best formation. But I remember a caller last week said it, to play one up top you have to be a world-class striker or someone who can hold at the ball and run in the channels, and Gray doesn't really do that, Deeney doesn't really do that, so we're having to play 4-4-2 to accommodate for the 2 strikers. That's the problem we have at the minute, unless we get someone we've been linked with, Salomon Rondon, who does fit the bill in that sense. He can play one up top on his own, but I think with a 4-4-2, we're accommodating for Gray and Deeney, because Deeney, we've seen it, Vidra, Igalo, unstoppable partnerships, and when he plays with a man alongside him, he is again a different player. And Gray, I think he's got the same amount of goals as Pereira. He hasn't really been given a fair crack of the whip under Gracia. Whether he'll be here next season, like Danny touched on, to Cardiff, that's been a strong link. It's going to be interesting, but I don't really see a Watford future for Andro.
Would you want Matty Vidra back at the club? He won the Golden Boot today with
in the
Derby County.
It's tough. I remember when, was it 2012-13, where he had that amazing season at us, and then he went to West Brom on loan, didn't really hit the ground running. I think he does suit the Championship in terms of slow centre backs, a lot of pace a lot of space in behind, and the calibre of centre backs in the Premier League is higher. But I think he just does deserve that chance. I think if he doesn't get promoted with Derby, he will be snapped up by a promoted side. I really do. I think he has got quality, and he's a different player than he used to be. He's bulked up as well.
Nice one. 7:30. This is Love Sport Radio. You can have your say. 0208 7020 558.
I can't wait to come to the UK and claim sanctuary.
The Pitbull is back and he wants to convert you. All the sports, all the news, and none of the nonsense. The Brian Moore Show drives you home. Weekdays from 4 p.m. Give him a try.
I've just met a kid who watches Frasier. I can't believe it.
Watching my mum. Shout out to my mum. Shout out to my dad. Everyone's getting a shout out tonight.
Nice one. You can have your own shout out this evening if you want to call in. You're more than welcome this Sunday night.
Speaking of Javi, he's on the TV.
Well, there you go. Hi, Javi. Shout out to Javi.
Shout out to Javi.
There we go. He won't hear us all the way in Sky Sports Studio.
That is such a coincidence. The What Fan Show and Javi Gracia is on the TV.
That was just like, when you see it snowing at school.
That's unbelievable.
It's just what happens. But yeah, Javi Gracia on the panel for the
The El Clasico.
El Clasico game live on Sky. Elsewhere, and do you want to talk about the Watford Awards evening?
I do. So, this week, on Thursday, it's the Watford End of Season Awards. We saw yesterday, of course, Abdoulaye Doucouré picked up Players Player, and Christian Cabaselli picked up Community Ambassador. So, Jacob, I've challenged you today, and I've written down my thoughts as well. And if anyone out there is listening, they've got a particular thought, shared opinion, give us a call. Let us know what you think. Who's going to win the awards? Let's start off. Let's start off with the big one. Graham
Taylor, Player of the Season.
Graham Taylor, Player of the Season. I've written down 3 possible options. Who have you gone for?
I think there's only one man for it. Abdoulaye Doucouré.
And why?
And why? I've got a few statistics that tell me why he's been linked heavily as well with a big move to a European club. 7 goals for a centre midfielder, 5 inside the box, 2 outside, 3 assists, 77 tackles this year, 54 interceptions. He's had 383 duels and he's won half of them. He's been unbelievable. And
when you talking about duel, you're talking about Harry Potter.
He's competing with he's competing with the ball. But I think the real improvement and the thing that's made me give Doucouré Player of the Season is his improvement from last year. When he came in January under Walter Mazzarri, I thought he was like a lost kid in a shopping centre. I remember at Spurs at home in Vicarage Road, we got smashed 4-0, I believe, and he came on, he was playing behind the striker, and I was thinking, it's Bambi on ice, it's another Alan Niom, he just doesn't know where he is. And then he started to play in his favourite position, just dropped a little bit deeper, and we were seeing a player who reads the game well, he gets his foot in, he can drive with the ball, and I was thinking, you know what, he's a real player. And this season, I mean, in the first half of the season in particular, I've been supporting Watford since 2006, and he's probably one of the best midfielders I've seen at Vicarage Road. Just everything about the man going forwards, how he reads the game as well, especially yesterday. I noticed it. He knows when someone's playing it through, but he knows when to intercept it. He has been an incredible acquisition for £8.5 million, and it looks like we're going to get 40 million for him, which is, again, really good business.
I think what you touched on there about his improvement from last season is really important. Obviously, the most improved player is a traditional award handed out at sort of grassroots level football clubs. It's the kind of one that you don't really want to win because it means you're rubbish at the start and just everyone knows it. It's kind of the elephant in the room. But I think that's a really important point. There's been a lot of people, however, on the old social media that have voted for Adrian Mariappa. Obviously, he came back to the club and was kind of sort of 5th, 6th choice centre back at the start of the season. But because of injuries, he's been pushed into the starting 11 on multiple occasions. And do you think that's a fair shout for Maps as well ahead of Doucouré?
I think it is a fair shout, but I'd give Mariappa. I think I'd give him most improved because he hadn't actually been given a sniff for a while, and Premier League football hadn't been playing Premier League football for a while, and he's really stepped up, and you can tell he's got a real love for the club, and that obviously helps a player like him because he's come in as 5th choice. That's probably the reason he joined. He knew he was going to be a backup, but because of his love with the club and he's been there before, that's the reason he joined. I just think Doucouré, he's been another level. I think Mariappa's a respectable second place for me, but Doucouré, what he's brought to the field and that partnership with Chalobah we saw at the start of the season was, I miss that so much.
We were talking about that earlier. We don't care how injured Chalobah is. We just want 10 minutes at the end of the United game of the Doucouré-Chalobah partnership again. Just to see it in action one final time before the inevitable happens. But I'll throw this curveball at you for Player of the Season. And this was mentioned to me by Johnny of the Ronnie and Ramage podcast. I agree with you. I voted for Doucouré as well. But our Player of the Season, and Watford fans, let us know if you agree with this. Our Player of the Season is actually Gerard Deulofeu. Came in January and arguably our catalyst for staying in the Premier League. What do you think of that?
I think if there was an award where it was Impact of the Season, Impact Player of the Season, he'd win it. But it's called the season for a reason. It's over 38 games, and Deulofeu unfortunately only joined in January. Where we'd be in the league with him, I do not know, but we'd be in Europe.
Because that's the thing. Came in for the first game at Stoke and actually played really well up at Stoke, and then he was the sort of the reason behind our victory against Chelsea straight away. And then another, obviously got injured. I can't remember which game he got injured in. But then coming back in, you could see the impact that he had at Spurs. Actually, he came back after his injury, and you could see the lift that he gave the team. So he's arguably one of the reasons for just kick-starting our season again to get back to stay in the Premier League. But we've decided on Player of the Season. Let's move on to the next award, which is Goal of the Season. Now, the contenders this year, not especially one for the eyes, let's say, but I've written down three options.
I've written down two.
What is your goal of the season?
My goal of the season in terms of technique and...
No, what did you vote for? Goal of the season.
Okay, goal of the season I voted for was Daryl Janmaat versus Chelsea.
Why?
The reason why, there's a number of factors. It was a couple of minutes after Hazard equalised, for one. Number two, it's Daryl Janmaat. Number three, it's on his weaker foot. The 1-2 is so good. I think it was it Troy? He kind of lays it back to him. He then goes onto his left foot, and for Daryl Janmaat to have the audacity to continue his run was something else.
It's a bit of a messy move, isn't it?
It is so good, and the limbs as well in the home end. To the right a little bit, and he puts it back where he came from, so he can't get it. Everything about that goal, you couldn't have done any better on the training ground. It was one of those, for technique, it was superb. But I have to give a notable mention. And I discussed it off air.
I know which one you're going to say.
And it was Deeney against West Brom.
Oh, okay. No, I'm completely wrong.
It was Deeney against West Brom because it was the back-to-back wins against Everton and West Brom. Mm-hmm. West Brom, it was 0-0 for the large majority of it. One really good, I think it was Will Hughes. Deeney stayed onside. He might have been... he was onside. Yeah. And to chip it over the goalkeeper against Ben Foster, it was one really big chance of the game, and I thought the longer this went on, West Brom were just going to nick it, and it was a game where I thought we were going to lose, and that was a decisive moment because we'd be right in the relegation scrap if we hadn't won that.
It was a key moment in the season, really, wasn't it? Because like you say, it was straight after that Everton game, and how many times have we seen Watford give points to the team bottom of the league? You know, we can already list it this season: Crystal Palace, Swansea, Huddersfield. And yeah, I think that's definitely a notable mention. And Deeney was really composed in that moment. The goal of the season, like you were going to say, technique-wise, I thought you were going to say Decore versus Huddersfield at home. In terms of technique, that's probably the best goal of the season on the half volley from about 20-25 yards. But it came in the horrendous... It is all about context about the goal. It was in the horrendous 4-1 defeat at home to Huddersfield, whereas Janmaat, as you say, the limbs after putting us 2-1 ahead at home to Chelsea, that was the first of 3 goals in 7 minutes to put us on our way.
Right. We're midway through our awards. We've got some tweets as well. We're going to take a quick break. It's Love Sport Radio. If you want to get in contact with your awards, whatever, 0208 70 20 558. It's at Love Sport Radio on Twitter. I'll tell you what, me and him share the same English sheet. To tell us, what do we do about that? Do we invite him on the show?
Why not?
Get him on the show. You got his number.
No, that's a bit dodgy.
and your other 3 classmates, because they'll fit in the studio.
It's a good point. Love Sport Radio. 20 minutes to wait.
Which day the LBC put their trash out? Oh yeah, every day.
This is Love Sport. Love Sport with 7otb.com. Play your way to £1 million.
Can you save money on your car insurance? Chris did with a little help from a spokesmansaid.com. Getting real people, real savings.
I'm Chris from Leicestershire, a truck driver. I went on a spokesman's set, which was very easy to use for an old git like myself, and the £300 savings enabled me to take my granddaughter to Pontins on holiday.
Find quotes from over 100 leading insurance providers at a spokesmansaid.com. Real people, real savings. Compare, switch and save with a spokesmansaid.com. Fighting for you, saving you money.
Take your passion for football and turn it into incredible cash prizes. Thousands of footy fans are already playing 7 of the best. Just pick 6 teams to win and 1 to draw, and you could win £1 million. You choose the matches, and you can play on your own or create a team with your mates. It's free to play, so what are you waiting for? Play 7 of the best today. Check out 7otb.com. That's the number 7otb.com. Digital radio offers great sound quality and more stations than ever before. And we want to make sure that you get Love Sport on your digital radio. Just press the auto tune or auto scan button and Love Sport will appear on your menu. Love Sport on digital radio. A great station for a great city.
Brilliant, I've finally quit.
I feel like I've got my life back. I felt much happier.
It's an amazing feeling when you stop smoking. Experience it for yourself with help from NHS Smoke Free. Our range of support tools, which includes face-to-face guidance from advisors, helps maximise your chances of success. Go online now and search for Smoke Free.
You could visit 10, 20, 50, 100 car dealers. Or just visit Car Giant with giant choice and giant savings.
Car Giant.
More than ever before, we need to discuss what a fanny pack is. I have to tell you, many people are saying this. Many people. It's true.
This is Love Sport, the fans show on Love Sport with 7otb.com. Predict 7 to net $1 million.
No, go on, do
Love Sport Radio with Aaron Paul and Andy Lewis. We've just been discussing the play and Windell in the.
And what about you?
And Jacob Coleshaw, the man, the myth, the legend. We've just been touching on the.
Windell, he's on the 1s and 2s.
We've been touched on the end of season awards. We've done player and goal of the season. Let us know your thoughts on Twitter and call us in. We've still got about 15 minutes left. And what are we moving on to now?
So now we're moving on to the team performance of the season. Jacob, team performance of the season.
How many have you got this time? I've got 4.
Well, I've only written down 3 just for OCD factor. I like 3 as the magic number. But what is your team performance of this season?
Okay,
not many to pick from.
Yeah, most of them are coming from the start of the season. I want to give a notable mention first to Chelsea away where we lost 4-2. That is one of the proudest. I think it sounds a bit weird, but one of the where I've come out of ground thinking, you know what, that was a great display and we deserve more out of the game. That we really played some nice football. We dominated Chelsea in that game. And I was speaking to some Chelsea fans. They were very, very fortunate that they did come out with all 3 points. But obviously you can't give it to a loss. So the 3 I've gone for is Bournemouth away at the start of the season where we won 2-0. Then back-to-back wins on the South Coast. Then Southampton away, 2-0. And the final one actually was under Gracia. It was a 4-1 win against Chelsea at home.
And out of those 3, which one do you think should be given the award?
Like I said, I think you need to put in context. Chelsea was with 10 men. I know it's a good side, but Chelsea 10 men, 4-1 is amazing. I think the one that I really thought we could do something special this season is Southampton away. We absolutely battered them. I mean, we never looked like we were going to concede. And with the defensive vulnerability under Matsari, that is something which was a little bit surprising. I mean, it got to the 60th minute, I was thinking, are we supposed to be panicking? This isn't normal, is it? And we were just in cruise control. We dominated the football game. It should have been 4 or 5. And it took a Daryl Janmat wonder strike again. It was just everything about that game. We just didn't look like we were going to concede. And we bossed it from minute 1.
So from the... this is really boring, but I agree with you again. That's the most dominant Watford display I think I've ever sort of witnessed, and sort of come out thinking I can't remember Southampton really having a decent effort on goal, and we just completely rocked up. It was like a home game for us. Rocked up, bossed it, and just got the job done. It was so professional, so dominant. But like you said, 2 back-to-back wins on the South Coast. The first one being Bournemouth. When Capoue got the ball in like 88th minute or whatnot, I shouted, "Oh, don't shoot!" and he scored. And then the same thing happened with Janmat's shot the week later. He got the ball. I was like, oh, don't shoot from that. Oh, it's got in.
When Daryl picked up, I was like, God, Daryl, hit it. So I'm thinking, oh, this is just going to go into Rose End. And then he blasted it past Forster.
So my mum would just turn to me like, you should just keep saying this. Every time Watford player gets the ball, just keep saying don't shoot and we're bound to, finish top of the league. But yeah, do you know what? The 3 games I had written down were exactly the same as well. Terribly boring. Bournemouth again was it helps when the weather's good as well. It helps for the day.
We had a tweet in from 2000_Hornet who said Swansea away, apart from the fact that I had to sit down all game.
Yeah, that was I was actually quite lucky. I was a couple of rows back from the sitting area, which for an away game I'm not a massive fan of.
Not a fan of sitting?
No, not an away game. I think that's what you get when you buy the ticket. You're going to be standing. I know it says no persistent standing, but as an away fan you expect to be standing the whole game. That's a different story. But I thought we didn't actually play that well. The first half we were very good. Second half it was a weird one because I remember Silva made a change. He brought on Molawage at the back, and we just Molawage.
I love that.
Yeah, Molawage. He brought him on, and we went 5 at the back, and it was 45 minutes of just parking the bus. And then it was a little bit of luck with Mawson, a poor technique in his challenge, and Richarlison put it away.
I used to pronounce him Molawage.
There was a lot of Swansea. There was a lot of Swansea pressure in that game, wasn't there? And we conceded a goal as well, which never fun. As soon as they scored, I thought, right, here we go, we're on to lose this. But yeah, the 90th minute winner was an incredible feeling, and then backed up with another Richarlison last minute equaliser at West Brom the following week, which was. Oh, we can look back on those early months with great fondness, and then it all went downhill sort of November, December. So that's team performance. The next one and final one that we're going to do is individual performance. Now that's for obviously an individual who's made a I guess impact on the game, has been the catalyst for a victory. Who's your individual?
If you choose Delafeu, you're banned.
I was thinking about it.
I knew it.
But it was only because...
What about Carnesis when he first came in?
That's a bit quick. Whoa.
Well, that's an individual performance at the other end of the spectrum, which there's no wooden spoon for.
I think although you don't say Delafeu, that Chelsea performance, he was tearing them apart. They couldn't deal with him. You must felt a little bit sorry for the Chelsea back line. I mean, they were getting ripped to shreds.
Never feel sorry for the Chelsea back line.
I mean, if I was in that back four, it would have gone horribly wrong. But no, overall, that performance really does stand out for me. Doucouré's, like you said, in the games that were, I think you've got to mention some of the performances in the team performances of the year, because although collectively we played well as a team, there was individuals who were fantastic. Bournemouth away, Richarlison, Adam Smith had a torrid time down that left flank. Southampton, Doucouré getting on the act and scoring his first goal of the the Liverpool game was the first goal. So it must have been the second goal of the season. He was a notable mention.
We had the chant for him by then as well, which helped.
That was very, very good. It's a tough one, Andy. Who have you gone for?
Well, you haven't actually told me your
I know. I want to hear yours first.
So, all right, so I would go for Doucouré versus Southampton, but like you said, other honourable mentions: Delafeu Chelsea, Richarlison versus Bournemouth, where Ricky sort of made his name. But there's one performance which was only about half an hour, which is a strong contender, and that's Deeney versus Arsenal at home, where we were 1-0 down, shout. Came on. I'm not sure if we can give it to a player who played only 30 minutes of a game.
That is a very good shout.
Completely flipped that game on his head. And won got a penalty from Ricky, and Deeney obviously converted it. And then obviously the scenes with Tom at the end as well in the 90-something minute.
Take me back, Aaron. Take me back.
Take me back. what I'd give to be back in October.
I'm going to go for the context. Richarlison versus Bournemouth. His first game in England. Obviously he came on as a sub against Liverpool, but his first game starting, and he was causing so many problems. The goal he stretched Adam Smith, and I think it was the first goal, and then Capoue scored. Yeah. When I first saw him, I thought, this boy's a real player. He's hungry. His desire to actually get that ball. And then smashing the badge as he celebrated in front of the visiting spot. Everything about him, it was just heroic. That was my performance of the season.
Nice stuff. We're going to be reading out some of your tweets next. This is Love Sport.
I'm so glad Kim Jong-un has decided on a new career move.
Love Sport.
I work for a spokesmansaid.com. We can help you save money on your home insurance. All you need to do is visit a spokesmansaid.com and find out if we can find you a better deal.
There is now another way to enjoy Love Sport on your favourite smart speaker. Just say to your Amazon Alexa device, Alexa, enable Love Sport skill. Or just visit the Amazon Alexa app and enable us there. Once you've enabled us, use Open Love Sport to listen to the station that packs a punch. Love Sport, 24/7 through Alexa.
Believe me, there's nothing unlucky about Friday the 13th of July, 2018.
Love Sport.
I can't believe that. Literally. Oh, anyway. Right, let's carry on. So, tweets flying in on @LoveSportRadio. Simon Holland has tweeted in saying, should we as Watford fans be concerned about Capue's whereabouts, or do we all prefer this imposter playing for us this past week in Capue's shirt? Outstanding against Tottenham, outstanding against Newcastle.
He's been excellent since Gracia took over, really. Like last season, Capu started on fire, and then it was always noticeable when when Capu had a bad game, Watford had a bad game. And in recent months, it's kind of felt the same. I think it's helped that he started with Decore all the time, and they've been able to build that partnership in Chalobah's absence. But with Decore going next season, do you think Capu will still be here? He's no spring chicken, but he has been excellent.
I thought Capu was going to leave in January. There was a £12 million offer from West Ham on the table. Florentino were also interested, so I thought we were going to cash in on him because he's 29 years of age. He signed a new contract, which was a little bit odd, similar to Holebas. Both players who, I think we've got the best out of. But actually, since Capu's been playing quite well, Decore's actually suffered a little bit. He's kind of compensating for Capu bombing forward. He hasn't been able to get us forward as much. But yesterday, I thought we got the balance right. Capu was driving with the ball, but also Decore was intercepting, playing it to Capu, and Capu was spreading the balls. But I think under Gracia, he's seen a new lease of life. He's really improved and has put in a starter, but can you really argue with good performances? We've got Will Hughes, Cleverley in that midfield. We've got to remember Tom Cleverley because he's an absolute workhorse. But Capu is a very, very good bench player, and I think we have to keep him just on that basis alone.
Because there are moments in the game where Capu sometimes not falls asleep, but takes it a little bit easier than he perhaps should. Which is when we see Watford, sort of keep passing it backwards when we really want to be going forward, and it sort of slows the game down a little bit when he's not on the boil. But with players coming back for next season, I don't think he's going to be a guaranteed starter. Not like at the end of this season.
No, he's not. Let's take a look at some of your other tweets. Steve Van Dyke has tweeted out Love Sport Radio and saying, you've got it spot on 4-2-3-1. It's our best formation given our personnel, except for the striker. Deeney and Gray just don't suit it. The main reason we need a new striker, going to be hard to find. I've said so many times that, I personally think Troy Deeney's Watford career is sort of coming to an end.
Yeah, I just don't really want him to ruin his legacy. What he's done for the club and what he's created, I don't really want that to be spoilt. It's similar to Wenger, and I know you had a bit of stick from me, but what time do you cut ties? What time do you go, you know what, Troy, you've done a lot for this club and you're a legend, but I don't want you to spoil it now. But I think he's not really the man to play one up top, and I don't think he likes it. He likes playing with a partner, someone to work off. Andre Gray can't play one up top, even though in that Swansea game we mentioned he did so and actually got a goal. It's just, I'm not too sure. We need to get in a striker who can run the channels, hold up the ball, but also who's clinical, because we missed a 10 to 15 goal striker.
That's quite difficult to find though these days.
Yeah, I think the link to Rondon is looked down a little bit because he's on the verge of relegation, but he's got 7 goals this season in a poor West Bromwich Albion side.
Would you say Ben Foster back?
No. No, I just wouldn't.
I spoke to Richard Lee yesterday. He reckons Ben Foster going back would be a great idea.
I don't really think so. We've got Dalberg coming in from. He's a Swedish goalkeeper. He's young. I don't really.
Backman.
Yeah, but I just think there's no point because of sentimental reasons going back for someone that you know what I mean? I just don't want to bring in someone just because they used to play for Watford. You could say that about Ashley Young. I'd say Ashley Young back, but that's completely thrown my point out the window.
Get Cassetti back, Vidra, Forestieri, bring them all back. Alman Abdi.
Lloyd.
Oh, Alman Abdi.
I love Alman.
Oh my God.
Bring back Lloyd.
Shout out to Alman Abdi if you're listening, Alman.
So many shout outs tonight, Aaron.
Bring back Lloyd Doyley. Bring back Newton.
He's only down the road.
Jeffrey Munjibia.
Bring back Nyron Noseworthy.
We're getting on to our Scrabble
Davide Ferroni
back now.
Bring back Douglas Rinaldi.
Have a Acuna.
Welcome to Naming Watford Players with Jacob Culture and Aaron Poole.
Oh, do you want another one?
No.
Bring back Steve Cabber.
Oh, Damien Francis.
Cabs, absolutely legend.
Matthew Spring.
And on that note,
yeah, we'll
we'll be naming Watford players for the rest of the year.
Enjoy Manchester.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy Manchester.
See you later after the Watford run.
A great trip. Make sure you do your homework.
I will do. Bank holiday. Happy days, laying.
Yeah, we're approaching 7 o'clock. This is Love Sport Radio 558 AM, DAB, online and via the Alexa smart speaker. Catch you after this.